In August of 2023, Virgin Galactic will blast the first crew of tourists into lower Earth orbit, christening in a new dawn for how humans interact with the final frontier. Yet miles above the orbiter is a field of literally thousands of missiles, some the size of school buses, some no bigger than a bolt, all of them traveling at nearly 17,000 miles an hour.
At that speeds, any fender bender that you'd have on the highway is catastrophic.
Since Sputnik was launched into orbit around Earth in 1957, mankind has been steadily creating a cloud of debris with every mission to space.
Debris is anything that's in orbit from old rocket launches, dead missions, accidents, or attacks that happen in space.
According to NASA, more than 27,000 pieces of debris are tracked by the Department of Defense. Most of the objects they track are bigger than a briefcase. However, there are literally thousands of smaller objects the DoD can't track, which could carry big consequences if they hit a spacecraft carrying people.
If you were to throw a cantaloupe at a Jeep on the ground, that would splatter on the windshield. You have to get out a squeegee. At orbital speeds, the Jeep explodes. So it is just so far beyond what the human mind is normally thinking about for impacts.
Troy Morris is co-founder and director of operations for Call Morris Inc. They are a member of New Space Nexus's Igniter program, which helps connect space industry innovators with resources, funding, and collaborators on solutions to complex problems like space debris. They are developing hardware and software that can guide potentially hazardous objects to a safer orbit, or bring the hazard out of orbit altogether.
The software kind of lines you up like a wide receiver, watching the pass come downfield, and then the hardware end effectors very gently grab the object like a wide receiver's glove.
In 2009, a deactivated Russian satellite slammed into an active satellite at 26,000 miles an hour. The collision produced more than 2,000 new pieces of debris, which caused the International Space Station to perform evasive maneuvers, avoiding their own impact in 2011.
Humanity has done a great job of launching enough things into orbit that if there was no more launches, private, public, government, or otherwise, the amount of debris objects that are colliding right now overhead are going to increase in quantity, and it becomes harder and harder to clean up.
The problem with space debris isn't just the junk in orbit around our planet. Within the field could be objects with a hidden agenda, objects that could be spying on us as we speak.
And we focus primarily on what's called anthropogenic objects, which are man-made or satellites.
Stacy Jones is the founder of O Analytics. They're taking the problem of space debris one step further, using algorithms to determine if any of that junk in orbit is actually on a mission.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a threat. It could be something that you perceive to be friendly, but we need to keep an eye on it. So when we look at the pattern of behavior, look at anomalies, observing whether a particular object is, let's say, hovering. If it hovers for a while, that could be a concern from an intelligence perspective. As
a New Space Nexus Igniter elite group, O Analytics is working on potential contracts with the Department of Defense, as well as developing relationships with potential investors and companies that might not have been available without the New Mexico nonprofit's help.
I think most people would agree no two are the same. No two got into this big, wonderful, beautiful space business for the same reason.
And as we stand at the dawn of commercial space exploration, that collaboration of different minds will be critical in achieving safety and success for humanity's next chapter in space.